A little while ago, I reviewed Fast and Furious Showdown for the Wii U. As a quick recap, it was awful. In all honesty, I'd confused it with another game and assumed that I was getting a high quality product going into it. The game I confused it for is Need for Speed Most Wanted U. Developed in 2012 and released for all major consoles in October of that same year, the game received a naturally late Wii U port in March 2013. It was a sequel to a prior entry of the Need for Speed series bearing the same name in fact, and trust me, that gets confusing quickly. Much like its predecessor, your goal is to become the most wanted criminal in town by whatever car-related means necessary. And that's all she wrote? Need for Speed Most Wanted works because of this simple assignment and its open-world nature. All you are told to do is drive around and make a name for yourself. From there you have every choice of exactly how to go about that. If you'd like, you could participate in one of 4 different kinds of street races, including sprint races, a point A to point B, well, sprint, circuit races, a 3-lap race around a circuit, a speed run which challenges you to maintain a high top speed throughout a course, and ambush races where you must ditch the cops as fast as possible. And we'll get back to the cops later. Each car has its own selection of races that it can attempt, and although it may seem like you have to drive to the races, you can save some time and just warp to them. If you would like to drive to a race, however, there's plenty to do along the way. You can find new vehicles with their own sets of races, and get into chases with the cops to earn speed points, the determining factor for just how prestigious of a criminal you are. Also there to award speed points are destructible billboards and speed cameras to race past. You can also run into the cops on your way to races, both a blessing and a curse. If you start a pursuit with the fuzz and then escape, you'll earn some sweet speed points. But while in a pursuit, you can't start any races, and sometimes it is just impossible to escape. Upon earning enough speed points, you can start a special race and move yourself up the roster of Fairhaven's most wanted criminals. These races even unlock brand new vehicles for you to use, much like the other races unlock parts for customizing your cars. That covers all the basic mechanics, so it's time to hit the pros and cons. Need for Speed Most Wanted is filled to the brim with content. From placing first in every race to destroying all the billboards, there's plenty of room for replayability. The controls are tight and functional, even if they're pretty far from an actual driving simulation. The graphics look great even in the Wii U version, and the soundtrack is amazing, featuring licensed tracks from Skrillex, Deadmau5, The Who, well, remixes of their songs, and some other people you probably never heard of. Hold on. What is this song doing in here? Unfortunately, Need for Speed suffers in the multiplayer department. There is no local multiplayer, but the online multiplayer boasts the ability to create public and friend list restricted games. Believe it or not, there are actually still people playing on the public servers. I was shocked. It will take you ages to connect with anybody, but there are people to connect to. The Wii U version in particular also had pretty in-depth Miiverse integration, but that's all gone now. And it has to be said, if you don't like open world racing games and the sort, Most Wanted probably doesn't have much for you. I also sincerely doubt that Most Wanted will come to Nintendo Switch, as it never even hit the PS4 or Xbox One. Now, as a multi-platform title, is Most Wanted best purchased on the Wii U? No. The Wii U offers extra gamepad controls for changing the time of day and traffic patterns, of all things, but it is missing out on 3 of the 4 DLC packs released in the Xbox 360, PS3, and PC versions. Overall, Need for Speed Most Wanted U is a great title, but one with ports on other consoles. Its other releases are even about half of the Wii U Edition's $14 price, though that could simply be because the Wii U Edition includes the first DLC pack on disc. Anyway, if you find yourself stuck with the Wii U, it's not a bad deal, but it's not exactly the definitive version.